Tonight we'll be making a unicorn pop-up card out of Cricut Design Space. If you have access, this is right inside of Cricut Design Space, and you can just click on it and you can make it, or you can even customize it if you need to. I actually did customize it so I could put the name of the person on the card. I changed my colors a little bit. I went with a purple and then a lighter purple, but I'm going to follow pretty much the same white and pink with the mane and the tail of the unicorn. And I used some gold metallic paper for the, I guess, the horn on the unicorn. So follow along as I assemble this, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this design actually calls for 7 different pages or whatever. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 was just a teeny tiny mat that we needed, and 7 is the envelope, which I'm not going to have on screen because I did customize it and put the little girl's name on it. So I'm making this card for a little girl who is sick and was going to be having some treatment upcoming and just trying to get it ready. So I basically pulled off the first, actually I think this maybe was the second one, but it is basically the elements of the card, or the card base. But what I did, just so that you know, is I used cardstock for intricate design was my setting, and I clicked on the more tab so that I would have more pressure, and that's the setting that I used for this. So anyway, so this is the card base, and it is scored. It's got these stars in it, which I'm going to try and pop them out. I think maybe this is the one panel that I did that I maybe didn't hit more on. I started and then I stopped, and when I went back to it, I don't think because I tried to do remember settings, but I think when I came back to it, this particular one, it didn't remember the more settings. So the rest of them, I'm fairly sure I got more on because I did them all together. So just need to pop that out. I did not clean my blade before I got started, and that would have helped as well. And my mats are kind of old. You saw I had several of them. I was surprised when I started pulling them out at how many I have. But I use it a lot. I do a lot of Cricut Design Space projects. I do a lot of paper projects as well as vinyl and HTV. I have learned to keep a separate one for HTV because paper just, if you do a lot of paper cutting on here, it does mess up the mat quite quickly. I have found also that I can use my lint roller and kind of clean up my mats. So I've got a lint roller, and I actually used it before I got started on this because, you know, you'll have a lot of scraps of paper and stuff, and you can just roll it across there and kind of clean it up. The other thing I noticed is, you know, when I did this, I kind of had some threads of paper, and I could kind of just roll that across and clean that up as well. So I'm just punching this out real quick. I hope the other elements will pop out rather quickly, since I did use the more setting, but this one's just taking a little bit more time, and it is intricate. So and one of my stars just fell right out when I went to take it off the mat, so I thought it was going to be okay. So yeah, they're popping out pretty quickly. So just clean that off, get that star out of there. We've got a little eye there. That came out real quick, real easy. And then the little nose. So we'll just pop that off. I'm just going to use push into my self-healing mat to get that to come off. So there we go. And then we've got our little scoring mark here. I'm going to try, and I like to use the edge of my desk to get a real good straight bend. I find that the scoring mark isn't as deep as it would be if I used like my scoring buddy or something like that. But there, so we now have our card base. So you can see we've got the unicorn with the little stars there. And then I'm just going to start pulling the other elements off, and we'll figure out how all this goes together. I will tell you, if you go into Cricut Design Space and you do this, it does have some instructions that you can follow. And I think this is going to weed real easy. You actually just roll down past the design, and then the instructions are down there. So there's another mat. I'm going to pull this off. This is like the inserts for the card. It's going to add the collar to the base of the card. Pull them off pretty easy. Pop these things out. Scroll here. All right, and we've got another star. Okay. And if you have any little extra paper there, you can just use your knife and kind of cut it away. Okay, and I'm saving the, I guess the body of the unicorn for last because there are several pieces to that. So I'm just getting all of my pieces together. And this would be the mane of the unicorn, and then the tail of the unicorn. Looks like there is 2 pieces to that. Okay. This paper's got a little texture to it, so it didn't cut quite as well as the other. The other was just plain, but this has a little texture. So I'm just pulling all these pieces out and getting them to where I need them. Sometimes if you turn it upside down, you can see the cut line and just run your blade across there, and then you're able to pop it out real easy. So we'll just lay that aside. And then this is the one that's going to provide the base for the card to pop up. And hopefully these will pop out all right. We shall see. Looks like I might have to use my blade on this. Okay, looks like I'm going to have to use the blade a little bit on this, so I'm going to pause and get all this cut out, and then we'll come back on and do our assembly. Okay, I only had just really a couple spots. I realized, if I just kind of wiggled it, everything would come out all right. So it did cut better than I expected. And that was using the more setting. So I thought I would just show you how I'm just kind of wiggling this. Okay, so now we have all of our pieces out. So if I go to Cricut Design Space, it just tells you to gather all of the materials first. So I've got some of them laying over here on the side of my desk. I want to get them all kind of together here in the same area, so that we don't lose any of them. And then it says to glue the horn, mane, and tail pieces onto the main body piece. So we just need to find the main body piece, which is this one here. So we're going to do that. And I'm actually going to open up a new bottle of glue so that I have a good tip for it. Because this is going to be intricate. So you're going to need We're going to need an intricate glue. And so what I've got here is the Barely Art Precision Glue. And I'm going to open it up so that I have a teeny tiny tip, because I'm going to do some teeny tiny gluing here. So this is the tip right here that I want. It's got that little tiny base on there, and that's what I want, so that I can get just a teeny tiny amount of glue for those spots so that it won't be messy. Okay, I've been meaning to open this for a while because my other glue tip got messed up, and I'm just raising my desk right now because I'm standing. Okay, so according to this, I need to glue the horn, and I'm going to use my teeny tiny tip just to get a nice clean amount of glue on there. Now, I also need to grab my Cricut tweezers so that I can, and I've been gluing with this, so I've got quite a bit of glue on there. And I seem to have, excuse the arm, I'm trying to get a hold of this horn. It's so tiny. And I want to see. I like this side better, so. I seem to have caught my grandson's cold. So I apologize for my voice or my nasally sounding. So I'm just going to get my gold horn and glue it on there. Get it laid down just how I want it. Now, it talks about gluing it to the main body piece. I'm trying to see. In my mind, I would think that you would do it on both sides. So I am going to go ahead and do that, and we'll find out later if I'm wrong, but I would assume that it's going to go on both sides and not just be doubled on the first side. So I'm just popping out that little eye piece right there and cleaning that up while we're working on it. There it came out right there. I'm just kind of cleaning that up a little bit. So I will flip it over and I will add another little teeny tiny line of glue. And I will grab my other gold metallic. This paper here is, it's a scrap off of some Spellbinders gold metallic paper that I use. I love it. It's got a great shine to it. I thought it would look really cute on this. So I'm just trying to get that lined up, and that is not lined up very well at all. So I need to push it where I want it and just push it together. And so that'll give us a good horn on both sides, and it gives it some stability and some width to make it stronger. So I think that'll look nice. So that should be fine. I think for the minute I'm just going to put my tweezers on there and kind of let it hold. So then the next thing that it tells you to do is to glue the main and then the tail on there. So we need to grab these little pink pieces that I've cut out here and get them all organized. Oh, so actually, this is the main that goes here. And then these would be like the bangs. This piece here would be like the bangs. I'm just going to cut that little piece of stuff off there. So get that. As you can see, that paper there has got a little bit of a texture to it. I think what I'll do is I'll stop talking and I'll just glue everything down so that I can speed it up, because the part that you're going to really want to see is probably the assembling of the card. Okay, so we've got that all glued down and everything, and now we're ready to start assembling the main body piece of the unicorn with the stabilizing oval pieces here. We're just gonna, and I'm just running my Cricut blade through the slit just to kind of clean it out. I can see it's a little, you know, it's got a little bit of paper in there, and so I'm just kind of running that along there and cleaning that up so that that'll be ready to insert. And so then this oval one that's like this, it actually goes in the front. So you're going to just slide that in, that front piece like that, and then get this other one over here and slide it in like that, and you've got your first piece there. And then the circle one, the one that is more circular, is going to go in the middle, and then we'll just slide that into the slits. So hopefully you can see that on camera. I'm just kind of sliding it into the slits, getting them all lined up. And you've got your open slit at the top, and then you're going to do the same with this kind of oddly shaped circle for the back. And just slide the slits in there and wiggle it down in there, get it all in. And then you kind of have the base of your unicorn's body. So just get it all pushed down as far as you can get it to go. And then you have that. And so then the next thing you're going to do is you're basically just going to take your unicorn and slide the upper part of the body into those open slits on that. And you'll have to kind of maneuver it around a little bit to get each one of the slits into the appropriate area, and then just kind of wiggle it down. And now you've got this. So that's a fairly simple assembly. I'm just trying to get them all lined up and get them pushed down as far as I can, or as far as they should be, I guess I should say. Getting them pushed down in there. Not sure what that is. I got a little piece of glue on there, I think. So there we go. So basically that's what it looks like. I'm trying to see if I got the all the way down in there. I think I do. Can that one go? Oh, okay, the back one can go in a little bit further, and that kind of straightens it out a little bit. So can you see what I've got going on here? There we go. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is add what they call the cloud stabilizing pieces. And I'm trying to see which ones are which. It kind of looks like maybe we have two of each. It almost looks like maybe we double them up. Now the instructions, okay. Let me look here. This is going to take a minute to figure out because they're actually, it almost looks like they're doubled up. Let me take a minute and study this, and then I'll come back. Okay, so these pieces that are different are going to be the pieces that go into this stabilizing piece here. They're going to go with that. But I think right now what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to add the pieces that go in here. And I think it's the center pieces that we're going to go into. They're pretty close together too. They're closer than what I expected them to be. So I think it's those middle ones. And then I believe that they go, and maybe that one's, I think they go biggest to smallest. So I think we slide these in. And hopefully you can see that. I'm just sliding these base pieces in. Or I'm trying to. There we go. And then this would be the next size. And I'm sliding it in and getting it positioned. So I'm going basically, I guess this is a smaller one, and then the big one, and then another small one, and then the smallest one. I believe that is how it is supposed to go, like that. There. Now, that makes more sense. Just get them all pushed down in how they're supposed to go. And so now you have what looks like this. So we've got the 2 pieces that the unicorn are on, and then the 4 just little cloud type pieces that don't have any tabs on them. And so we just want to get them all pushed down where they belong. And I can see I've got a little bit more room to go here. So just kind of push them all the way down. I think you can probably glue them once you get them all in the way you want them. I don't know if you need to though, because they fit pretty tightly. Looks like this one needs to be pushed up a little bit more. Just trying to get them to where the base of it is flat. You want this here to be flat, so you'll know you have them pushed in all the way. So I think that's good. It looks like my horse is doing a little bit of a lean, but or my unicorn, I should say, is doing a little bit of a lean, but I think it's okay. It's going to have that fold. You know, it has to be able to fold when the card shuts. So, okay, we've got the cloud pieces, or the base, you know, the stabilizing pieces in there, and now we're ready to add the outer cloud pieces. And so if I stand this how the picture is looking, it appears that we would need to have, just trying to see exactly what I need. It looks like I need to have this one on this side, and it really could put either one. It just depends on how you bend, and since I've already bent them, that's why I'm selecting this one. So I'm pushing these down in there and getting them down in there tight. And then because I have it bent this way, that's why I put that one on that side. I think you could put either one on either side, perhaps, and it does look different though to me, because it looks like the small part, oh yeah, okay. So this actually, the small part of the cloud needs to be in the back. So that's where I was going astray. So this one would go here. I was thinking the way that I had it, I may have to rebend it, but so the big part of the cloud is going to go in the front. So that means I had to go this way. And then the big part of this one will go in the front. So I think I just had them flipped around. So is it like a little puzzle putting these things together? I think it'll be super cute when I get it done. It's just kind of figuring out how the pattern goes and stuff. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my horse. I don't know if he's not, yeah, he wasn't pushed down as far on one side. And I keep calling him a horse when he's supposed to be a unicorn, but anyway, there. I got him pushed down now, and perhaps he'll be a little bit straighter now. Maybe he's not in his grooves here correctly. Just trying to make sure I get it all in there. So there, now we've got a good solid platform. So see, all of the large clouds, they go from the front of the unicorn to the back to the small part. So that, if you know that, that will help with the assembly of it. Then you're supposed to slide the tabs into the base slits and glue it into place. See the picture below for help. It looks like, I'm trying to decide which side this goes on. Well, I think it's gonna, based on the way our tabs are, I think it's gonna go like this, just based on how our tabs are, and then they'll kind of be, it looks like they'll kind of be at an angle is how they'll be. And that looks right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this tab into this base here, flip it over, and put some of my glue on there. And then just pinch that together. I don't think I can get one of my clamps on there just because it's too deep on the paper. So I'm just going to pinch it and hold it for a while and get it to stick. That glue will grab pretty quick. And then the next one, I'm going to slide through this slit. And then add my glue. Get it in there. And pinch it together. So I'm just pinching my two tabs, allowing them time to dry. Now somehow, I gotta get back in the groove there. I kind of slipped out of one of my cuts. I gotta do that so I can get it to lay right. So, this is how it's supposed to lay. Just like that. That's how it's supposed to lay. All right, so there. So we've got this all assembled now. Hopefully you can see how it's going. Kind of the tail feather one is toward the back of the tail. This that kind of looks like the slits is by the tail, and then the just cloud looking one is by the head of the, and then you actually have the unicorn angled on there. See how it's angled? So that's how it is. But if you follow the instructions in the Cricut Design Space, you should be able to do it. So next is you're supposed to take your card base, I believe. I'm going to set our little unicorn aside, which I think it looks really cute. And glue the purple pieces to the main card base. So that's what we're supposed to do. And it looks like it's designed to go like this, where you've got the stars going, you know, that way, and then this way on this side. So that's what it looks like. And we just need to glue that down. I think what I'm going to do is get my tape runner and use my tape runner for it, because I think it'll be a little bit easier. Just run that along there. And I think I will add a little bit of glue to these small little pieces here that would stick up, just so they won't tear off. So I think that'll work. Okay, so now I want to carefully, I'm going to get this out of the way, I want to carefully line that up. And I'm going to use the outer corner so that I'll stay far enough away from this middle not to mess it up. And it looks like I ran my glue right across that center, but it's going to hold that in place, so hopefully that'll be all right. I can take my little eraser and kind of clean up where it's sticking out, but it will help hold these pieces here that are kind of intricate. It'll hold them down. And we shouldn't have any problem with this because we don't have any design on the back of it. So I'll get that. And this one is supposed to lay like this. So I'm going to take it clear to the edge of the card, lay it down. See if I can get it laid down nice. Get this up a little bit. I don't like how that is right there. See if I can pull it out without ripping it. Okay. Just going to get it squared away a little bit better. There, that's much better. Okay, so now we've got our base. So that worked out. And then it appears that I'm looking at the picture. This slit here is going to be where our card base is where that's going to be. So that is how our card is supposed to lay, so that it will fold correctly. So we need to glue the assembled unicorn base pieces in place, aligning the square edge of the larger base piece to the edge of this. So you're aligning that to that. So I am going to use glue on this just so I'll have some movement, ability to move around if I need to get it lined up very well. This glue will give me some wiggle room. And then this, just get my glue on there. Now I want to line that up there, and that'll help get me in place. And then I'll line it up there and there. So according to the instructions, that is how we're supposed to line it up. And then you have, so I've got that on there. I think that's super cute. It really turned out nice. So it's just basically hanging, and it'll fold up like that. That's how it folds. And then you have your card. That is really super cute. Okay, and then we have our envelope. I just clicked customize, and I put the name of the recipient in the center of the envelope area and used my Cricut markers to put the name on there. And so you can do that. You will have to select customize if you want to add the name, but that's not a problem. You just select customize and then add your name and center it on your envelope where you want it, and it should work just fine. Okay, so I got that. And I should have some good score lines. I do. Okay, so I've got some good score lines here, and a score line here, and then here. And so basically what I'm going to do, this will be my flap to close it, and what I'm going to do is just lay my glue down and get my envelope ready to go. I got a little bit of glue on there, get that off. Lay that down. Oops, excuse me. And then this one will overlap, so I'm just gonna go ahead and run some along there. And then I'm gonna do that just to get it to hold down. And then this will be my flap. And I'm just gonna leave my envelope upside down because I do have the name on it. And let's see. So here we go. Here's our card. It's super, super cute. Very girly. It'll be perfect for a little girl. So there we go. So there's our card. I hope you like it. I struggled a little bit with the clouds, figuring out which way to do them and everything, but I think overall it turned out really cute. So super cute. Be nice for a little 5-year-old. Be a fun surprise. Hope you like it. If you do, I'd ask that you give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Bye-bye.